we're doing tonight. God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Summer Jazz Praise Alive. I'm going to give you some news and some in a word on tonight. First we're gonna start with public school teachers. They deserve a raise. They deserve a raise. The original teachers, deserve a raise. Because the raise is a reward. For hard work, commitment in the workplace. And we've been having a lot of teachers being committed, especially with everything that's going on. A lot of them been risking their life for the kids. So it's a good teacher, hard worker, and very committed to the children. So this is deserve attention. So the average public school teacher salary in Louisiana, is the lowest paid so far. From 2021 to 2022, the school year was like 52,660. American Teacher Act will authorize the federal government, to create a grant for states, to teach a salary requirement 60,000. So from 52 to 60,000, I think that'll be a good, fair, um, price. Now we want our teachers to be paid a livable wages, a wages that is fair. They deserve it. So our teachers are hard worker, commitment, to your job and the children. And if you that person, you deserve a raise. And I know lately teachers, been risking their lives. Never know when someone gonna come into school and just start shooting. You know, um, but with all is going on, we still have faithful teachers. We still have faithful teachers. We still have teachers still today, still go to work after we're all going on. You know, so the proposal of a guaranteed minimum teachers, a raise of 60,000 nationwide. So this raise is for all nationwide. If you're already making 60,000 already, this is not for you. Anyone that making less than 60,000, this raise is for you. All across the nation. So I request all teachers nationwide, a raise of $60,000. So that's the proposal for the teachers. It been passed through. I know I see 2021 they tried to make the same proposal, but I guess the bill didn't pass through. So we're just gonna keep on trying to this bill pass through for the teachers because with all this going on was going through the teachers. Teachers getting killed, the students getting killed. And we still have faithful teachers. So they deserve a raise. So we're gonna talk about this word Bible study. We still on Samuel, First Samuel. We talking about this all return to Israel. You remember yesterday they just kept bringing it all to different places. And now nobody was supposed to touch that ark. Nobody but the Levites is the only one supposed to move this ark. You know, so the Philistines took the ark yesterday. They weren't supposed to take the ark, but they took it and tried to bring it all over. Because at first they thought it was a good lucky charm of why the Israel kept on winning and everything. They thought it was the or the God that they had, but all the while, you know, it was the real mighty God. So now they all are still in Philistine possession. They had brought this ark to many cities yesterday, and they back to square one. They're trying to give it back to the owner now. So when the ark of the Lord, had been in the Philistine territory for several months, so they've been having for several months trying to pass it on and wind up back to them. So now, several months Philistines have been trying to lead this ark in the city, but everyone was getting sick and dying. Well, nobody ain't want this ark in their city. So the Philistines called for the priests. Now they called for the priests for them, the dividers, to tell them, what to do with this ark. Because They have for several months. They're just bringing it all around the city. Nobody don't want this. Don't want this. The law. So he said, "Tell us what we should do with this. We trying to bring it back to the owner, to where it belongs. You know. Oh, so now they took the ark because they thought it was a good luck charm. You know, the Israelites didn't, but they didn't believe that it was a real God with power behind them. You know, they didn't realize it was a real God that was behind the Israelites. You know, so the priest answered and said, if you return the ark of the God of Israel, you know, do not send it back empty handed. You know, send it back with a gift. You know, by all means, send a gift, a guilt offering. You know, so they took the ark. Now the priest telling them how to return the ark. Don't return the ark empty handed. You know, you done took the ark. You know, so send it back with a gift. Not only a gift offering. You know, so then you will be healed. So the priest telling them, then you'll be healed. 'Cause remember, they're all sick. You know, and you will know why his hand had not been lifted from you. Cause see, also at the end, he gonna let them know. You know, you took the ark, mean you touch it. Nobody else not supposed to touch the ark. You know, but the Levites. You know, so that's why he said at the end, once you do follow instructions, you know, you'll know why his hand was all over you in the city, wherever you kept on trying to bring that ark. So this guilt offering is supposed to accomplish this that was a normal reaction to trouble in the Canaanite religion. You know, so the Philistines thought their problem was a result of their God being angry. They thought their God was being angry. The other God. You know, that's what they worship. So they recognize their guilt and taking the ark, and now were trying everything they could to place the ark back to Israel. The Israel. Now they're trying to return it back. They're trying to see how we gonna turn it back. You know, so how easy it is to design our own method of acknowledgement that God rather than serving Him in a way that He required. Now they were serving something that's not real. They were serving something that was not real. You know, they thought it was real. They thought this thing was their good luck charm. They thought that's why Israel never kept on winning and everything was going their way. They thought this here was their answer. You know, but they was secure that they thought it was a good luck charm to them instead of serving the real God. They didn't know they had a real God. They thought Israel now was just winning because they had that in their possession. You know, so the priest had told them to send a gift offering. Now he gonna give them instructions, you know, how to send it back and what to do. So the Philistine asked, "What is a gift offering? Should we send it to him?" They replied. He said, 5 gold talents, 5 gold rats, according to the numbers of the Philistine rulers. Remember, he had 5 rulers. You know, because the same plagues had struck both of you and your rulers. You know, the guilt offering, the Philistine had 5 rulers, and him and his rulers, both of them was stuck with this plague, with this cancer. You know, so he said, get 5 gold talents and get 5 gold rats, and they're supposed to mold that into gold. You know, and make models of the term and of the rats that are destroying the country, and give glory, you know, to the Israel God. You know, as perhaps He will lift the hand from you and your God in your land. Now, if He followed these instructions, you know, and then send the ark back with these instructions He did, He said maybe God may lift His hand from you and your God in your land. You know, He said God may lift. You know, so this priest is really trying to test if God really had put this sickness on us. So they're trying to manipulate God. You can't manipulate God. You know, so the priest trying to do a test. You know, he's trying to do a test because him too, you know, probably thought this other God was real too. So now they're trying to see if that's a real Israel and got a real God. We about to test him. We gonna send this over here a certain kind of way. You know, what he don't like, they're gonna be attached to it, and we gonna see what he gonna do. So we see if they do this, follow the priest's instruction, perhaps God will lift the hand from them. Why do you harden your heart as the Egyptian and Pharaoh did? Now he trying to tell them. Now he acting the same way that Pharaoh acted. You remember Pharaoh's heart was hard. Moses kept on saying, release the Israelite. He refused to release the Israelite. Now he's saying the Philistine acted the same way. Now God dealt harshly with them and did not send the Israelite out so they could be on their way. Now he's saying God put that same flash on Pharaoh. But the council, the rats, he did all that to Pharaoh. And when Pharaoh got tired of it, then Pharaoh let them go on their way. So that's what he telling the Philistine now. Now your heart is halted. Now, you're gonna follow these instructions. And you're gonna let this go to them. And we're gonna see. We're gonna see if Israel now have a real God. So they said the priest is telling them why you was acting like Pharaoh. God did the same thing to Pharaoh when God put the plagues on Pharaoh. In him and his land. And then he bowed down and he sent the Israelites out on their way. So now then, get a new cart. He said, get a new cart. He gave them the instruction. Get a new cart ready. Get 2 cows, that have a calf and have never had been yoked. Hitch the 2 cows, on a cart, and then put their calves away and pin them up. So this is instruction he had to do to try to bring this art back to them. Because he keep on holding on to it, that's how long he gonna be sick. That's why the priest telling him, if you follow these instructions, then God may lift his hand off for you. He said get the new cart, get 2 cows with the calf that never been yoked, hit the cow, hike the cow on the cart, take the calf away and pin it up. Take the order of the Lord and put it on the cart, and in the chest besides it, put the gold altar that you are sending back to him as a gift offering. Send it on its way. He used his example with Pharaoh. When Pharaoh finally sent them on their way. So he said, you're going to send it on the way. You're going to be done with it. Now, once God get hold to it or whatever, and God forgive you for this, then he going to release the sickness off of you. So now this is a gift offering that they made to send to the Israelite, their God. But keep. Now he said, but keep watching it. Keep watching it. He wants to see what God's going to do. See, they're trying to test God, trying to manipulate the whole thing. They said watch it. And if it goes up to its own territory towards both, city, then the Lord had brought this great disaster on us. But if, so he trying to see if God already had put the disaster on the Philistine. They're still trying to find out about the Israel and them God. They still don't believe. So they want to watch and see what God gonna do. So then the Lord had brought this great disaster on us, But if he does not, then we'll know that it was not his hand that struck us, but that it happened to us by chance. They still don't know the real God that put the sickness on. They still trying to figure out other ways. So the Philistine acknowledged the existence of the Hebrew God, but only as one of many who favored just saw thinking of God in this way that made it easy for them to ignore his demand that people worship him alone. They look at God as an object, but God is far more than an object. He is the source of the life itself. He's the source. They're still trying to figure out if the Israelites have a real God. If he doing power. I know last time with Pharaoh, they thought he was somebody was doing magic. They still didn't want to believe that a real God that does power, you know. So they did this, So they took the two such cows, hashed them to the cart um and pinned it up on the cab, So now waiting to see what would happen. So they just waiting. They're watching, they're trying to see. Knowing God's a spirit, they can't see God unless God reveal himself to them. So they're watching. And they ain't gonna be able to see nothing just watching. So they placed the ark of the Lord on a cart, and along with it, the chest containing the gold rest in the matter of the term. So they're gonna put the cows that just had babies, and it's gonna put all that on there, knowing God is against it. So that's why they're gonna send it on there. They're gonna watch it. They know God against it. They were supposed to do what was supposed to do, how they do their sacrifice, and trying to see what God gonna do. So then the cow went straight up towards the city, keeping on the road and lowering all the way, and it did not turn to the right or to the left. The rulers of the Philistines followed them as far as the border of the city. So the Philistine priest devised a test. So he doing a test, to see if God was really the one who had caused all of this received trouble. They try to see if God really put this trouble. So they still don't believe that the Israelites have a real God. They constantly keep on doing these tests. The two cows who had just given birth, that was I was telling you earlier, the two cows had just given birth, was hatched to a cart and sent, towards Israel. Bore to carry the ark of the covenant for a cow to leave the nursing cow. Now she will have to go against all her mother instinct. Only God, who had power over the natural order, could cause this to happen. So God's still doing stuff. And that's why I say God could do stuff right in front of you. You won't even know He's doing it. Now they say owning the person with power, over the natural order, could cause this to happen. Because see, when they sent it out, the cows didn't have no baby. Now all of a sudden the cows had great babies, just laying on the thing. They said nobody but somebody with power, only can do this. So they said the nursing cow, will have to go against all her mothering instinct. Only God, who has the power over the natural order, could cause this to happen. So God sent the cows to Israel not to pass the Philistine test. See, God know they're testing him. You got to realize he can see, he can hear, everything you saying and what you trying to put together. So he's sending a whole nother way, not because of their test. So God sent the cow to Israel, not to pass the Philistine test, but to show them His mighty power. You see what I'm saying? So they keep on trying to. So you may remember God humiliated them when they try to ship that all the God somewhere. Remember, He took the head off, took the arms off, and when they walk out